So what does it take to really get into the United Nations? Welcome back, fellow citizens of JAR, to Deron for Super President. This is the show in which we try to build our own country, take over the entire universe, and fix all of the universe's problems. If that sounds like something you think you might like, please hit the subscribe button down below to be counted as a citizen and to join us on our path to glory. Now, I recently received a challenge about becoming a real country, and if that meant getting into the United Nations, well, bring it on. Now, if you're trying to figure out what does it take to get into the United Nations, where do you look? I looked on the United Nations website, because it's, you go to the horse's mouth to get the sugar information. Now, the UN says it is open to all peace-loving states that accept the obligations contained in the United Nations Charter and, in the judgment of the organization, are able to carry out these obligations. For the most part, we enjoy peace. I mean, peacefully taking over the universe, but if you think about it, there's no violence involved. It's purely a friendshipy, takey over-y thingy thing. Domination. And, weirdly enough, they actually also have a procedure on their site, which you can just sort of follow in handy, you know, if you're going about your day, you need to submit several applications to make different countries you're part of the United Nations. So the first of which is to submit an application to the Secretary General and a letter formally stating that it accepts the obligations under the Charter. And then, the Security Council, specifically, considers the application. Any recommendation must receive the affirmative notes of 9 of the 15 members of the Council, provided that none of its 5 permanent members, China, France, the Russian Federation, the United Nation of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, and the United States of America, have voted against the application. If they are cool with it, they present that to all nations, and you need a 2/3 majority vote, and then you become a new state under the United Nations. I know what you're thinking. This seems too easy. Well, it's not. First off, writing letters is very hard, and if you have anxiety of any kind, it might be difficult to write a letter to someone you don't know. Also, how do you even figure out snail mail nowadays? Why can't I email this? Can I send an application by email? What if I get my friend to deliver it? I mean, these are the questions you really have to ask yourself nowadays. So, step 2. Let's assume you've gotten that letter. The real question is not how to convince 2/3 of the world's countries to accept you into the United Nations. The first one is how to game the game on the Security Council. You need to be so milquetoast, so bland, so not anything offensive to anyone that you don't offend China, France, Russia, Britain, or America. Name something that's not controversial in at least one of those places. I'm hard-pressed, because realistically, you're going to have to sort of suck up, like, a lot to all of the 5 Security Council states. This is probably the real hardest thing to do in the entire application process, because name one thing that you don't even have to have this whole list. Name one thing that China, Russia, and America all agree on. I'll wait. No, I won't. This is a video. You can't even have being bland as your principal thing, because France is on this list, and they really care about food. Being bland itself is offensive in France. There's no good way of doing this. You can't win. I figured if you make a part of your culture the appreciation of art, that a community has survived harsh conditions and gotten through those harsh conditions by banding together, you've basically got everyone covered there. Let's go through the list. China. The fact that China is a communist nation, the fact that you all bound together really appeals to those sensibilities. If you add respect into the picture as well, it really works out. In France, you have an appreciation for art. It's gotta be really good art, though. The good part is you don't actually have to make any art, just appreciate art somebody else has made. So yes. In Russia, you really gotta amp up the hardship. Cold winters are probably good. Really dark, cold. And Great Britain and the United States are also very, very strong, sort of like, we like patriotism type countries, as well as banding together in the state of family. So really, if you put that as like the heart of your culture, I don't see any of the countries having a problem with you. You can't put food in, because they all disagree on food. You can't really put anything. That's like the only little box you have. Once you've gotten through there, you still need to have 9 of the 15 members of the council to actually say yes. But that's 5 right there. You only really need 4 others, and if you're that bland at that point, you you've got pretty good odds. I know what you're thinking. But Darren, there's a little problem and a little hitch, little wrench in your plans, which is you're trying to take over the entire universe. And I think, as is the case in Civilization, we're not militarily. I'm not going to walk into your house and go, this is my home now. I'm going to, is this a tasty home you have here? Oh, well, give me 5 seconds. And it's my home now. Isn't it funny how it's my home now? No, of course not. We'd like to get to the point where I don't take your home away from you. You just tell me that your home is part of my country. And then we just sort of get bigger, and then, oh, whoops, it's everybody. Turned around, the whole country, the whole continent, the whole world. And that's how you get just a single planet, and you go through the entire stars. I've got a little crazy today, but you know what? It's fine, it's fine. So that's the way to get into the United Nations. Yeah. So this has been your super presidential candidate, Darren, signing off for Friday, saying, welcome to Jar. Jar takes all kinds, and you are family now. Please join us this week and every week. We go up every single Monday and Friday. You can check us out in the description for links like our Facebook, Tumblr, Patreon, blah, 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 blah. And I will leave you all with our viewer-submitted motto for Jar, which is, we are Jar. If you love Jar, you love us. We'll see you on Monday.